seconds countdown. Boom, right off 19 seconds. Welcome to the Toy Duo, everyone. Actually, you know, we're going to change the name, I think, probably, because it's the Duo now. But I keep thinking, like, we were talking about it last week, and I was talking about... Anyways, we're gonna do the Toy Duo this week, and this is your place for hearing about action figure reveals, Star Wars, Marvel, GI Joe, DC, McFarlane, Masters of the Universe, whatever's out there. I'm going to get rid of this really quick and just say hello to Dandy1981, who's joined us. Hey, Dan, how's it going this week?
Pretty good.
Good.
He's going to talk this week, too. He's going to talk.
What? Yeah.
He's going to talk this week, too.
More than just chat. And then we got...
I might just sit here and eat my protein bar today.
You got the... I'm glad you guys came back with the fitness show. I enjoy that. I'm glad to see you and Dino back. It makes me happy.
Thank you.
It makes him feel like he's getting a workout when he's sitting there with his hot chocolate milk from Wawa watching you guys work out.
Oh no, I'm in bed. I wake up and turn it on, and there's Dandy and Dino waking me up in the morning.
We got Ways of the Sith. You got your coffee from Wawa with you? Yeah, that's good. Did you wear your Chopper Wolf helmet when you went over there to pick it up?
No, it's behind me though. You see it up there?
Yeah.
Really cool. I still can't believe that yesterday. I got super lucky. I got there. So like I became friendly with the stock guy over there at Ollie's now because they see me in there all the time. And so I got there like literally when they opened yesterday because I had the day off because it was raining. And I got over there and I was walking in. I said, "Hey, what's up, Alex? How you doing?" He's like, "Let me guess, you're looking for the Black Series helmets?" And I was like, "Yes." And he's like, "I just put a brand new pallet of them out." And I was like, "Oh." Wow. So when I walked in, there was literally like a stacked pallet full of them, and then the Captain America shields too from Winter Soldier. But they were like, I didn't get one only because it's the blue with like the other. It's like the blue with the ice blue. Like it wasn't like the standard
stealth armor one.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy about it. Plus, like, I was gonna have to hang it on the wall, and I put up shelves now. So, like, hold on, I'll show you.
I didn't know those hit Ollies. I thought they were still on clearance.
It's an old-fashioned cigarette holder he's got in his mouth. One of those old-fashioned ones.
Penguin. Do you see the shelves that I put up on the wall? Can you see them?
Yes. And
then I put the Calyx unit in the closet there. So, like, it saves so much room in here.
Yep. That's really neat.
It's my paintbrush that's in my mouth.
Dan's about to get attacked by a black cat.
Did you see him coming down?
So you have Ollie's near you too, right, Dan?
Yep.
Did you run right out and buy everything that they had on sale there?
I must have some. I don't have the connection that Waze has. I don't have the inside scoop. No, the last couple of times I went, like I really wanted to get one of those Fortnite boats because that is just a great opportunity for a custom or figure.
Yeah,
photography or whatever.
I got 2 of them here that I still have to paint. Like I literally have them just like sitting on the side.
They had when I got there, they had everything else that was in that group. The batch, the 2-pack, the umbrella, the Skyrocket, whatever those things were. But no boats. They were all gone.
Oh my gosh! All right.
I have like I want to say there's like 6 stores in the state, and like I'm in New Jersey, so the state's small. I can drive through the whole state in like 3 hours. So that's usually what I'll do. And like I work.
Why have I not seen the Ollie's Gauntlet toy hunt then?
Because usually what I'll do is, so like for work, I travel all over the state. So for work, if I'm in that area, that's usually when I'll pop in and I'll check this Ollie's, I'll check that one. And
oh yeah, you probably don't take your camera with you.
Yeah, I never do toy hunts on my channel. I don't know why. I never have. I just usually do like reviews. That's pretty much,
Yeah, what I do a few. Dan's done a toy hunt on his thing.
It's weird, man. It's a whole nother ball game. I'll tell you that.
It is. It is.
Yeah, and I feel like I'd have to like, especially because like all the stores I go into, the music's so loud, all that. I feel like I'd have to do it all like voiceover work, and like I don't know about you guys doing like YouTube videos. Like I do it all on my phone, so it's a pain in the ass to do. Like even when I got to do like lore videos with slides and stuff like that. Oh my god, I hate doing them. Like it's like
That's
pulling
because you're working on such a small device.
Yeah, yeah. Like if I had a laptop and I was doing it all from a computer, it'd be a lot. I could just have a microphone, say what I need to say as I'm playing it, da 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 da. But doing it on the phone, you literally have to like have it stretched and timed right. It's just like it's such a like it takes me like 20 minutes to do like little sections. Oh, it's
yeah.
like
The thing is, even if you plan out the video first and then do the speaking, you sort of have to like pause yourself, because if you speak too quickly or whatever, yeah.
And then you got to adjust the clip length and everything. Yeah.
I do want to say hi to people in the chat. So Gerard Kane is with us.
Hey, Gerard.
Oh, he was here early. You got Jonathan Redman joining us.
What's up, Jonathan?
Sonny woke up super early to say, "G'day, mates." He must know there was a Mondo Motu in the presentation today.
Humid.
Let's see. A third option would have been nice. Skip.
I was watching. I watched Mondo guys on with Toying Around this week. I think it was. That was a interesting presentation. So, like, I wasn't very familiar with the guy. I know Alex from Plastic 4, who does like the sculpting for them, but I didn't know. I've never seen like the CEO of the company or like the main production guy or anything like that. They got some really cool stuff. Like, I'm not like a 1/6 person, but like some of the stuff looks really, really cool, especially that Spider-Man.
Scale's pretty good. Blue Sasquatch wants to know if this is live. I hope this answers your question. All right. So, anyways, hopefully more people will jump in. If they don't worry. We got plenty of content to satisfy you this week. First thing I want to do is just jump right over into the Haslab update, which we've been doing pretty regularly on the show. Last week, they had about 4,900. No, it was just over 5,000 is what it was, because I did the picture the night before. That was last Friday. So Saturday when we did the show, I think it was like 5,012, because they had just broken like the 50%. So last night it was 5,430. So they were slowly inching towards their 10,000 goal.
But it's not looking good, though.
Yeah, 24 days left.
I mean, historically, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like historically, if it hasn't hit its first mark in like the first 2 weeks, they just never, they flop.
Yeah, I think that we saw that with the Rancor, right? It just never was able to garner the attention. And the problem with this is, what are they going to do? What are they going to say to get people who didn't already back it to go ahead and jump in and say, yeah, I think I'm going to back it? You know, what else? Yeah. They're not going to add figures. They offered all the tiers up front. They're going to do, oh, now you can get the eyes to look to the left.
I was going to say maybe they add Wasp. I could see them throwing in like a special Janet Van Dyne Wasp figure. Like,
yeah, but then that would go completely against what they said.
Against what they said. Right? But I could see it as like, well, we got no other choice, but we got to throw something else in here. That would be the only other thing that would go with it. Unless like they come up with a way to say, like John's been asking for, where you could change the actual costume and like
that would actually be pretty cool. But how do you change the red version to like blue? Right?
That's what I mean. You'd have to actually make it like a soft good, something that you could pull on and off and like reverse or whatever. And I don't know if they want to engineer all that.
You could spray it like those Hot Wheels. Remember those color changing Hot Wheels? You get a hot water.
That would be kind of cool too. But I mean,
that would be kind of cool, actually.
What would that need to be? And then with that, how much added cost would that be on their part? Anyways, let's say hello to Rolando, who has joined us. And
what's up, Rolando?
The hunt master.
Okay, so Sonny is saying depends on whether they do a timed exclusive or limited time offer straight away. Deluxe Skeletor, He-Man, She-Ra, because they're talking about the Mondo stuff is really nice, but really expensive. It is kind of expensive.
Yeah, and they were saying that I guess with that Spider-Man one, Alex did a full. It comes with like a Mary Jane picture, like Alex actually sculpted a full Mary Jane to make the picture more realistic. So like they already have the Mary Jane sculpt ready to go with that Spider-Man. If enough people buy that Spider-Man. So I was like, that's actually pretty cool. Then, like, you kind of know, like, if you pick up the Spider-Man, you're gonna get Mary Jane to go with it, which is
Sure.
pretty much
So,
all you need. You know what I mean?
so somebody left a comment. I think it was on the toy duo from last week when we were talking about, or maybe it was my Haslab rant about the giant man. He was actually saying that it would be kind of cool if they had developed some sort of like a wishing thing with like an this is what he described it as, like something that would go with your giant man to make it look like he's growing. So I'm imagining like just a piece of like clear plastic with like wishing effects in it, but like with like kind of see-through images of the giant man in different sizes. You know what I mean? Like that you could put in front of it.
Yeah, that's a cool idea.
Display piece.
I don't know if they, because like we were originally talking about them at least coming with like a backdrop or a wall or something behind it, you know.
Something they should last ditch efforts throw something like that in. Dan's already 100% in on the giant man though, from what I understand.
Are you, Dan?
I just feel so. I hate this because I feel like Hasbro learned a lesson and they learned it too late. They overcharged us for Galactus. They overcharged us for, well, the Sentinel might have been spot on for, because it was the first time they did it. So they new technology, new procedure. They screwed us. They screwed us on the Ghost Rider. They learned from that, but they learned it too late. You know, because now we've got these two big figures, and I feel like nobody wants the Giant Man because you've got. I don't know if you remember or not, but they did a 12-inch. They did when they had those 3 3/4-inch ones.
They did three different versions of it too, like Goliath, Skrull,
yeah. So if you're hardcore and you already have those, I mean, you're adding some inches, but at this point, where are you going to put them? You know,
well, that's what Superdrone was saying, right? Like you already have the Giant Man in practically the appropriate 12-foot size, so maybe this one should have been Goliath.
And if you got the SDC pack that they did of Pym, like a couple years, I think it was the last year Marvel Universe was still like going. They did that like where it was like technically a Legends Hank Pym, but it was just the Marvel Universe one repainted, and then they gave the different iterations of Ant-Man with it, and it was like a Hank Pym set or whatever it was.
Yep, that's the one I have.
Yeah, so like that's what I was saying at the Vernon. I looked them up on eBay, and I was like, you can buy the Skrull version of Giant Man, the regular version of Giant Man and Goliath, and then get all three of them and still pay less than the Haslab. And it's like,
but
you want to have the different versions.
It is a good price. I mean, the 200 is.
It is.
Especially compared to Galactus and the Sentinel, especially compared to those. Like if you're looking at the high price tag of those compared to this, and it's the same relative scale, you're right. I agree with you. Yeah,
it's just so painful to watch them fail.
I know, right?
This was like during the Rancor where we just sat there and we're just like,
okay,
are you getting burned? Greedo and a Speedo. Left 4 Dead Fett has joined us. I just wanted to get this in really quick. Sorry. Keep going. Jonathan saying that's a good point, Dandy, when it comes to big stuff like 24-inch figures, something that's going to take up a ton of display space, the item needs to be epic, and Giant Man is not epic. That's
why I got rid of both my Sentinel and my Galactus after a while, because it was just like, man, where am I going to put this stuff? And the box alone for it takes up so much space. It's just like, like, what are you going to do with this? And like, if you don't have like a space, like I don't have a dedicated Marvel Legends like display. You know what I mean? Like if that's what my display was, I could definitely.
What?
Yeah, I don't.
My does not make any sense.
Most of my Marvel Legends are carded Spider-Man figures, and they're on the wall above me on the side. And then I have a couple like loose figures, but I don't have like a dedicated like, big Marvel Legends display. It's mainly just like, a couple of the plastic-free figures because I had to open those, unfortunately. And then the stuff that I find at Ollie's. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think watch me say, I think the Giant Man's got a 50-50 shot of getting funded. I think I'm pretty safe with those odds.
Yeah, you fence sitter, Vern.
Anyways, Super
Hey, did
7's
you guys
going to
order
be
it?
coming out. What?
Did you guys put in on it? Either of
No.
you?
No.
No?
So
I
this.
I didn't back. Surprisingly, I haven't backed a single Haslab this year.
Okay, I did,
stayed out of
I
all
did, but I
that.
didn't.
You got the helicopter, right?
I did the I did the giant man, but then I pulled it back. So no.
Oh, okay. But you backed
Yeah.
the helicopter.
Yeah.
And then did you do the ghost or no?
No.
Did you,
Too expensive.
Dandy?
The dragonfly?
Did you do
Yeah.
any other Haslabs?
I did the dragonfly, yeah.
Okay.
The
okay.
ghost was too expensive.
Yeah, I know I'm gonna regret the dragonfly because I know once everybody gets it in hand, I'm gonna be like, oh, I could have hung it from the ceiling, like, you know.
All right, I want to show this off. This is they did a little video render of their Cobra mothership from GI Joe Super 7. And so they're showing how like the roof comes off and that you can see inside. So I thought it was kind of cool that there's going to be multiple rooms in there, little pilot station and stuff like that. So I think Jonathan did the dragonfly, and obviously he's super looking forward to the Cobra mothership. And the way that I know is because he can say no, but he was the first person to like my post. So
yeah,
obviously
he's
Joe in on this Cobra mothership when it comes out in October.
He's a Super 7 fan, man. He loves Super 7 so much.
He's probably like not watching anymore.
Yeah, he's cursing me out right now in his living room.
But also very basically, Dan is I just hope we don't spoil the chance to have another good Haslab at a good price. Yeah, I agree with you on that one too, Dan. Like
yeah.
There, you got your answer, Waze. You gotta look up and read it. All right, let's see, what else did I have on here? I also wanted to point out, oh wait a minute, where are these? Oh, okay, so let's just do this. We've been doing this shout out of the week before we move on. If you're not following Star Laws on Instagram, I follow them just for the photography. I think it looks pretty cool. Some of the ones, yeah. Do you guys follow these people or no?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so this one I thought was actually really cool. So I pulled that one off to show it off.
Awesome.
And then I really dug like the way this was done with the lighting and stuff like that. And I'm sure this is probably there's like TV in the background, right? With some just a foreground. Yeah, probably. But I like the way these photos are done. And I really dug this, like taking advantage and using the Halloween figure there. It just looks really cool.
I was talking about that with a friend of mine because he was saying like he could see those being like very highly sought after because of the fact that they came and went, and if you got them, you got them. They're not remaking them, and then this year we're getting another wave of the Christmas figures. That's what he was talking about. He's like, you think like they're going to be valuable? Like, should I go out of my way to pick them up, or because like he doesn't really collect Star Wars figures. It's more so just like other stuff.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah.
The thing is, I think it's going to be hit or miss because last year's Star Wars figures, nobody could really get them because like Walmart had like that Wookiee, and then they couldn't distribute it, so it went to Entertainment Earth, and apparently you can get it on Amazon now for like half of what you could have got it for.
Oh, really?
Before. And so some of them have been like lingering around, and I think it just really depends on like the design of it, because the one I call the Poop Trooper, I don't think anybody's going to be really interested in. That's that like Clone Trooper or whatever that's like brown, and it's like the worst shade of brown. It's the gingerbread cookie brown or whatever, but it just looks bad. And I don't see that being super valuable anytime.
I think the only one I picked up was the Mando holiday, like because I found that in Target on clearance for a couple bucks, but that was about it, I think.
Left Coast is saying Dino can make videos in a cave with one eye closed doing push-ups.
Yes, he can.
All right. Rick. So Lifko's Graphics is here. Everybody saying hello. Duffman's Dioramas has joined us. Let's see. All right. So what else? What?
Do you guys like when you're painting white? What is your trick? Like, do you dread it as much as I do?
Many layers.
Many layers, and it takes forever.
No way around it, man. Because if you use a thicker paint, it's going to come out uneven.
Or it's going to clump up on you, especially like on figures. It gets like nasty. But I'm working on Ahsoka, and it's been taking me like 3 days because of how many times I've had to like repaint the white.
Sure, it looks really good.
Yeah.
I don't know the last time I used white on a figure that didn't have like epoxy sculpt or something on it first.
On it already, yeah.
Like if it wasn't something that I put epoxy sculpt on that needed to be painted white, I don't remember ever taking something and trying to paint it white. I got to caveat that because when I tried to make a Speed Racer figure, it just looked really bad, so I ended up giving up. Because what I had tried to do was, do you remember the Luke Skywalker came out with that like land speeder 8 or 9 years ago or whatever? Mm-hmm. At some point, those land speeders were in like discount stores, and I remember picking up a couple of them for like maybe like $12 or something like that. The whole thing. That's how I ended up having a bunch of Lukes, and I had a bunch of speeders. I broke a bunch of them apart trying to like put them together to make something else. But I took one and I tried to paint it in the color scheme of the Speed Racer, the Mach 5. And while I was doing it, I was also doing the Speed Racer, and I kind of gave that project up because the Speed Racer just looked awful.
Yeah.
But
I've heard so like Syndicate I had asked him because his clone stuff, like whenever he does like clone armor and everything, it's so spot on. And I was like, how do you get that to look like perfect white? And he's like 2 coats of Valo white primer spray. And basically you just spray that twice and like clean coat of white. But like if you're like having to paint it in sections, you can't really spray. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of, so I was like, maybe if I just get the primer spray it and then paint it with a brush, maybe that'll work.
Yeah, that's cool.
I was gonna say, I don't know how, from what I guess you were doing over there, spray does work. You know, a matte white. Just get a small can of it. Another trick is you could put some, I want to say like oil or something. Take a brush and then paint some like vegetable oil or Vaseline or something on the part that you don't want painted, right?
Okay.
And then spray. So then you can just wipe that off.
Okay, that's a good idea. All right.
So this is my brother who lives over in Florida. He said he's never going to watch my live stream again. No, I'm just kidding. After we had a big hurricane here in San Diego. But while he's here,
that's Galactic Mule.
Yeah. Never turn your back on family, Vern.
All right.
So he picked these up for me.
Was he? So I saw his story. I follow him. Was he like? Were these all in a warehouse someplace?
Yeah, supposedly, I guess there was like a some sort of a garage sale at Disney World or whatever for or whatever.
Wow, that's because I saw him standing in the warehouse with all the boxes, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, what did he hit the outlet store, or did like something?
No, it was like some sort of like a promotional sale for like
for the pass holders.
Season pass holders. Yeah, they're probably clearancing everything out. It looked like, you know what it looked like? It looked like all the stuff that Ollie's didn't buy from all the stores.
Oh man, I would
picture of figures that he sent me and stuff.
I would love if Ollie somehow got a hold of sabers. That would be incredible.
Right? So apparently it's pretty cool because this piece right here is already got the double piece, right? So you can just screw 2 halves together.
Yep. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
and then you could screw that other piece in to make it look like it's been cut in half.
Right. Or get the other one and screw them together and make the hole.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I have no blades though. No blades.
Disney's got them on their website right now. Actually, I was just about to say you were talking about stuff clearancing out. Disney put up. They've had the chopper droid up from the Disney parks itself, but they also put up DJ Rex, R2, lightsaber blades, and something else today.
DJ Rex?
Yeah, you can 150 for DJ Rex, and it's from the Droid Factory, and it actually talks, remote control, all that.
Oh wow!
Yeah, really cool.
So mad.
And then an R2 and a chopper.
Oh yeah, they got some pretty good.
And they even put a battle droid up too. There's a Droid Factory battle droid, which I'd never seen before. I didn't even know they did. I wasn't sure if that was new or what.
So, anyways, based on my what I had said before, that 2 lightsabers makes a collection. So I guess now I have a collection.
No. It's the rule of 4, Vern. We've established this many times.
Negative. You guys came up with that, but if it's me,
even Ryan Ting,
I decided long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, when we were still doing this other stream.
Let's ask Super John.
Like he didn't have a collection, I told him he had a collection.
Super John.
You mean
what is your rule? John, I'm sorry. What is your rule as far as what justifies a collection? 4, like 3 or 4 of something?
2.
1.
There you go. Yeah.
Wow.
A collection of 1.
So you're saying 1 establishes a collection?
Yes.
I'm yeah.
Perfect.
I mean, if it's a collector's item, right?
Right. See, I feel like you have to have more, at least 3
No, because if you say like, like if you go to the store and say, I'm going to start my collection with this figure, you have a collection of 1 figure.
Yeah, but that's if you're starting a collection. If you just dabble and pick up 1 figure, it's not a collection. It's just 1 figure.
Look, G-Force is here. He has spoken.
A pair. He's saying a pair. Okay.
Because like I actually have 1 stamp. So when people say, "Do you have a stamp collection?" I say, "Yes, I have 1." You know what I mean? It was a stamp.
I wouldn't acknowledge it that way. I would just be like, "No, I just have 1 stamp."
It was a stamp my great grandfather had, and it went to my grandfather, went to my dad, and now it's mine.
So you have a collection of 1 stamp.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm 100% on board with you. Even better.
Trolling the chat here. Keep it coming. I'm curious now. You got me.
I thought it was funny. Ryan Ting actually acknowledged it the other day, and I was like, "So does Ryan watch our show? Does that mean like Ryan's watched our show before?" Because he acknowledged the rule of 4 the other day, and I started laughing my ass off. I was like,
"Who, Ryan Ting from
from the Marvel?"
Yeah, but he just acknowledged whatever you said because he won't acknowledge anything I say because he doesn't want to believe that half the stuff that I say about them is true.
I was just shocked. I was like, that means he's had to watch our show before because he said rule of 4 and acknowledged it that way. And I was like, I've never heard anybody else say it that way or describe it that way. You know what I mean?
Oh, I think that sayings come from, but it's misused. So
it's misused because we think you have to have multiple to have a collection.
You think you have to have 4. I think it's 2. Dandy's like whatever the chat says, and John is like you can have 1.
I mean,
John's 1.
Well, because here's the thing too, is because people have often asked, like, well, you know, even like right now, they'll say like, how many swords and weapons do you have in your collection? Okay, the question is in my collection. I have 1 Japanese katana sword.
Great.
I have 1 Japanese katana sword in my collection.
Yeah,
you know
that
what
is
I mean?
a great collection. That's all you need.
So
really.
I don't. If somebody asks that question in your collection, you can have 1, and that's part of my collection. You know
if somebody asked you, do you have a sword collection, you would say yes, or just because you have 1?
Say yes, it's a collection of 1 katana sword.
Well, the thing is, I want
any of us. He says
3 is a 3. Yeah,
I want to have more, but I just haven't bought them because I want to get Conan's. I want to get Conan's sword from the movie, from the Arnold movie. I want to
Okay.
I want to get the Sword of Omens. You know, so it's like
you will have more
I
swords.
want to have. Yeah, I want to
For
have.
now,
a
you have one
Now
sword,
you only have one sword, which is not a
which
collection.
is a collection. Which is the beginning of his collection. Because here's the thing: if you he got it, he's holding on to it. You probably got it.
Well, it's on the wall. It's right there.
It's
I have it mounted.
So it's
with
not
all
like
the lightsabers.
We're not giving it away, so you got it because you collected it. It's
It's mounted on the wall with all the lightsabers and the vampire stake that Vincent Price gave me.
Gap is saying he is late because he was putting together a Stargate wooden puzzle from Japan.
Wow, that's exactly why I was late.
I know. That is amazing, you guys.
That is incredible.
Jonathan says we can't take Way's word for it.
Especially somebody who can't paint in white.
It's not that I can't paint in white. I hate the process of having to paint the same thing 20 fucking times just to get it right.
Hey, look,
it's
Vic is saying, I want a Ferrari, but I don't have one. Do I have a Ferrari collection? Not until
well, that's what I'm saying.
Wait, hold on. Not until you get one.
But it's still not a collection. He's got one.
When he gets one,
He doesn't even have it yet.
Yeah.
You gotta have at least one.
See?
I guess, yeah, I guess you do have to have. It depends on. You know what it depends on. I think it depends on your intention.
Yes,
because
it depends on which live stream you go on.
No. Get this, because when I lived on the farm, we had 3 or 4 cars. We had 3 or 4 cars, okay? But we did not have a car collection because all those cars were stuff that we drove. But if we had bought a garage where we were holding on to the cars for a future,
then it's a collection.
Then it's a collection. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
semantics. It comes down to semantics.
Wait a minute, John. Living on land where
John walked into his own point
out in your field does not mean you have a collection of cars.
Exactly.
Okay.
You're using them for something. You're not collecting them. You just happen to have a bunch of them.
You just have a chunk of metal out.
Yeah.
But you almost lost me, Tom, because all I was picturing was you on the farm wearing a suit with your pickaxe.
I wasn't wearing a suit. Most of the time I was barefoot running around that.
People with only 3 Ferraris don't have a collection, according to Waze.
Wait, what did he say?
People who have only 3 Ferraris,
they can't call it a collection.
Yeah, no, it's not a collection yet. You're on the verge. You're on the verge.
No.
3 or more. 3 or more.
I think 1 is the collection.
Once you hit 4, then it's a collection. All right, so for my helmets, right? I have 1 Mando helmet, and I picked up the Trapper Wolf one yesterday. So I still only have 2 helmets. It's not a collection.
Of helmets. Now you have it. Oh, hold on.
So if somebody walked up and said, if someone walked up and said, how many helmets do you have in your collection? You'd say 0 because I don't have a collection of helmets yet.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Wait a minute. Waze is saying he has 1 Trapper Wolf helmet and 1 what is the other helmet?
Mandalorian Sailor Moon helmet. Sailor Moon.
I know you have 4 helmets in your collection. 3 of them just happen to be Trapper Wolf helmets.
Oh, well, yes, but that doesn't count.
Yeah.
My collection or for other people. So
no, you have them there in your house right now. You have a collection of helmets.
I do have the Sabine one on pre-order, and that would make 3, but not a collection yet. Once I get that 4th one, then it's a collection. Then it's a collection. Now I'm a helmet collector. Once I hit 4.
G-Force has spoken. If you are a collector and display 1 of any item, it's part of
But see, again, semantics, part of your collection. Yes, I don't disagree with that at all, because the way you're wording it, it's part of your collection. Just like John, if somebody asks you how many of blank you have in your collection, it's phrasing and semantics.
I have 1. Look, I only have 1 Luke Skywalker action figure. Is that part of my collection?
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't have a collection.
You don't have a collection of Lukes. You only got 1 Luke.
Gerard has 5 helmets. He doesn't actually have a collection anymore.
No, Gerard's got a collection then. He's 5 helmets. It's over the Wall of 4. What did he say?
He's saying you have a collection of helmets out.
If you bitch about it, because you're upset you had to drive all over the world to get it.
I got lucky actually because my local Ollies actually got them in, so I didn't have to drive all over the place. It was actually very easy, but I had been looking for a good week and a half, maybe 2 weeks.
So they're showing up at the trappers showing up at Ollie's.
Yeah, for $30. Yeah.
Run down there, John. Run.
Well,
Run
I won't.
How long would it take you to get there?
Oh, it's
Film
like
yourself?
it's at least an hour and a half or so.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, John's mom's. It's by your mom's house.
It's by the house. Yeah, it's by the house. So. But we have heard they're doing another one. It might be in Boca, which would be closer to it, which could be like half hour.
Once they open up, I was talking to Josh McNear. He's out in Iowa, and they just opened one finally out that way. But I think he said something about 60 miles or something like that away from where he is. But I told him, I said, once they kind of work their way into your state, it's only a matter of time before they open a bunch. Because this year they
just announced they're opening it in Orlando. Orlando hasn't had one in this long, and now they're finally opening one.
But that's what I'm saying.
They're first.
And like this year though, mainly they go in lower poverty neighborhoods, towns and neighborhoods that have like a little bit lower poverty. That's where those stores usually end up going. But I know they just opened their 500th store, and they're planning on opening up another 500 this year. So like, they're doing great, and they hit something with the toys, man. Me and Jonathan Redmond were talking about it yesterday, and just like, they didn't used to do this. They didn't used to have like all of these toys coming in every week and stuff like that. It used to be around Christmas time that you'd get like maybe a Jar Jar Binks Black series that would sit there until everybody, until they finally sold out or whatever.
What they would do is they would get like, because I remember when Rogue One was leaving the stores, they got all those stormtroopers.
They got all those.
It was like a crate. Like everyone wanted that stormtrooper from Rogue One, and I specifically ran up there because we got the ad, and it was like coming soon, and they showed like the stormtroopers and like a couple of the on that Rogue One packaging, and I ran up there specifically to get some of those figures because they were like $1 or whatever, and they didn't have any left when I got there.
And that's normally what it was. But now what's been happening is like, you have to check Ollie's pretty much like on a weekly basis, because lately every week something new is coming in the store. And like, especially they're just getting to the plastic free packaging now. So once that comes, I have a feeling they're going to be like unloading stuff that we were seeing as exclusive some places and stuff like that.
You hear that in your pocket?
Yeah. No, but it was hilarious because I got there to look for those figures, and she's like, I'm not kidding. Someone came in this morning, like right when we opened, and they bought 150 Star Wars.
And a lot of people do that. Like even yesterday when I got there,
he bought the entire thing,
I got there as soon as the store opened, and the guy just put out a pallet of those Trapper Wolf helmets, and I was in the store for maybe 15-20 minutes, and I saw about 3 other people walk over to the helmets and the Captain America shields and literally fill up as many as they could put in their cart and go to the register. And it's like, they're selling them on eBay. And like, I looked this morning.
How much was the cap shield? Wow.
39.
Was it Dave on Twitter? I think he posted a picture of the same thing, like a cart full of them.
Yep, a cart full of the cap shield. Yeah.
Pretty sure they're. I mean, it's either they're building a cosplay army or they're going to resell it.
I
thought.
Yeah, Bick, those I believe those Transformer pics. Yeah, because
yes, supposedly a friend of mine sent me some pictures from Ross recently, like just this week, and they had like the U.S. agent or whatever. Marvel Legends, and it was like $5.99. They had the Iron Man was like $5.99, and in the background I could see like the Beast Wars and some other Transformers.
I think he's talking about the new Cosmos, which is one that just came out.
Already at Ross already.
But that happened during the Siege. What was it? Siege and Kingdom, and that line that ran with the Netflix stuff. When Starscream and those figures were in stores, they were in like Target and Walmart and stuff. I walked into a Ross, and they had them all at Ross for like $4.99 or something. And I remember I did the same thing. I grabbed like 4 Starscreams and threw it in the cart, and like 5 Megatrons, and like I got 2 of 2 Trypticon and 2 of Fortress Maximus, and they were like $20 each. You know, the giant. So I've seen that stuff myself and bought like the whole lot at Ross.
So the
I don't have any.
Helmets were $29, right? Ways?
Yeah, 29, and then the cap shields were 39.
All right, and then just because Jonathan's asking here, John.
Oh, I put them up. I put them up on Twitter.
He said, "Whatever happened to those TVC pics that you got canceled?" So I took pictures in my Target today of the TVC ships that they had.
Oh yeah, there you go. You're following suit with me. Well, mine were. What were mine? What were mine? It turned out they were fleet.
Mission fleet, yeah.
Mission
fleet stuff.
And I showed them the video, and what's funny is in the video I'm saying, "Oh my god, I can't believe they have vintage collection, blah blah blah," and it's showing Mission Fleet crap or whatever.
Yeah,
I think somebody hacked your video, honestly.
Oh yeah, they changed it on them.
Yeah, you were here at your mom's streaming with us, and they
said it on stream, so they knew. And then they went to your house while you were still at your mom's. Yeah.
Your dad was there, so was he asleep the whole time, or
he might have been. I don't know.
Did he tell you the computer guy came in?
Yeah, he might have been.
I wonder.
The other thing I thought was maybe it was a Mandela effect and 2 parallel universes collided. in the other parallel universe, I did see a vintage collection one.
You did.
But then when I got here, I was trapped in this universe where it was something else. You know.
That's what happened with the Sinbad genie movie too. That's what we were talking about the last time.
Yeah.
It just ups and disappears one day, and now it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. That Cosmos they're talking about, is that the which is it, Legends class? The Legends
it's like
class?
A UFO. Yeah, it would be. I don't know what class it would be, but I think they're generally around 6 inches tall or so.
Well,
Dino was listening and washing his house.
Oh, nice.
Now, wait, I've never washed my house.
Like the outside, or like.
Oh, wait a minute.
I mean,
in a trailer, right?
Technically, if you mop the floor, you are washing your house.
Yeah, when he's like talking about washing the house, I'm like, he's out there scrubbing like the walls and stuff like that.
Yeah, I wonder if he's outside, like, you know, yeah.
Like I've power washed the house, you know, like that's washing the house.
I guess you do, yeah.
Oh, but you guys have like siding, right?
Yeah,
we do like.
You have
stucco.
Yeah.
Keep moss on the gutters too. Spray that off.
Yeah.
Oh, it could have been paint fumes. Yeah. See, Jonathan's got it.
Oh yeah.
It was paint fumes.
You know, you missed the spot if you're listening.
I guess if it was siding, I'd probably spray the house down once in a while because it would the color would change, I guess.
Well, you know, here in Florida, you at least have to do the first like 4 feet, or you actually will get mold and moss growing up the side of your because of the humidity.
Yeah.
Because of the humidity, yeah.
Oh, okay, so he's washing the siding and gutters. I thought he actually hooked the house up to the truck and drove it down to the car wash.
Yeah, that's what he did.
Yeah.
His wife's side. Oh, you hit a bump! Get out of it! What are you doing?
What are you doing? I'm cooking.
The grease flies up.
That's bad. You guys are bad. Anyways, I'm gonna pull these up. I didn't.
What are we looking at today? Yeah, we got.
Okay, what reveals do you imagine are going to be in this week's reveals?
Ahsoka the Vintage Collection Starship.
No, because did it seem like a light week? It seems funny, right? Because it seems like the last few weeks we've been like talking about, oh, this was coming out, and I know some of you have all your pre-orders shipped and stuff like that. And I guess we were going to talk about that a little bit, right? Like,
so you guys want to? John's going to be like, oh, I got hit for $300 this morning
Oh.
from Amazon.
Wow. Yeah.
Whoa.
John
They
has a
ship-
pretty good plan, right? Like you set aside
So-
this is X amount, and I don't go over it.
Yeah.
So
I try to, but yeah, you get hit sometimes with a bill.
They
'Cause-
killed me.
I've had that account because, like, for some reason, I don't understand how this works, but like, if I go to the grocery store or I go to the gas station and I say I have $50 in my account and I try to buy $70 worth of groceries, it goes,
Mhm.
you can't do that, card declined, you don't have enough funds.
Right.
But if you pre-ordered from Hasbro or Amazon, and they'll go charge $100, there you go, and it'll go, your account will go negative by $50 because
Oh, see, I have that thing on from the bank.
apparently
I don't go that far.
apparently
Because
they
it-
supersede your limit.
No, I think
for
it's
what?
because it's like they do a pre-authorization when you still have it.
They hit your card originally, and then it doesn't actually charge until the item ships. So like
It's still
they already technically hit your card and pulled it. Yeah. I have my bank like turn that protection off so I don't overdraft. So like that never happens to me. But I was shocked. All this stuff like moved the other day to like November 1st dates, and I was like, that's not
thing.
November 1st dates. That's all going to change to the end of this month. And literally yesterday, one by one, the X-Men 97 wave all changed to tomorrow. The rest of the Return of the Jedi stuff, the Vader and the R2 changed to today. Firefly changed to today. Something else. All the Ahsoka Rebels, all the Ahsoka / Rebels figures turned to today. Like,
Well, that's why
all-
I'm not pre-ordering anything really anymore for the most part.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
so that
I
never
don't
happens.
because they always go on markdown. Like
Right.
that, like that Spider-Man wave. I stupidly bought like Ben Reilly and the one of the, I think it was the girl there, Jessica, whatever.
they're $7 right now at Target.
And
Yeah.
and at full price. And now, because I was like, oh, these are going to be hot. These are pretty cool.
I thought the same thing.
And
Yeah.
now they're all on clearance, including like Scarlet Spider. Like everybody's on
Yeah,
clearance.
$7 at
Seven.
Target right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Check
they're
this
like
out. So I'm
$12.
one leg down for this Hulk.
For the-
Just
Oh,
gotta-
really? Nice.
super awesome.
Awesome.
I just
Awesome.
gotta find the rest of it.
You just got
That's the Vern Hulk, too. That's the Vern Hulk with the good hair.
That's
Yeah.
right. So I have one leg. Anybody wants to have any extra parts? Send them my way.
So you only have the leg. I thought you meant
Yeah.
I thought you meant you were one leg away from completing it.
No, I only have that one
Rest
leg.
body to go.
I think I do have a piece of it. I'll send it to you.
All right. So I did find the Black Widow too was also on clearance. So what I did was, I don't know if you guys saw it, I did this kind of, so I swapped it out and I put this like scuba gear from the Gridiron Studios on it. And then I
cool.
put the Bishop head on there.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's a great little diver female right there.
Yeah. And I think it looks pretty good because it actually looks kind of like a wetsuit.
It
Yeah.
does. Yeah. No,
Really.
it looks great. It's
I made
it's unzipped a little bit.
I made a Mara Jade with one of the widows that I picked
Then of
up.
course I had to do this because I had to put the head somewhere.
Oh, I have something I do want to show to John real quick though, because he always asks why we would make custom figures, right? So John, I want to give you a prime example of why we make custom figures. So this is the new Star Killer from Force Unleashed, the Hasbro PulseCon exclusive, right?
What are those things? What is that thing on his arm? Is he shooting water?
Well,
it's supposed to be the Force.
balanced.
Yeah.
It's
It's supposed to be
balance.
Looks like water?
No, you're
No,
supposed to balance him like he's flipping over.
Is he
No,
is he
he's a water
Zan?
bender.
Is
It's
he,
supposed to look like the Force. It's supposed
so
to be
he's
like
Zan from Zan and Jaina?
Yeah.
Wonder Twin
So,
Powers. Shape
this
of
is the-
water
This is
cone.
the head from Hasbro, right, John?
Yeah.
This is my custom Star Killer, which is night and day, 10 times better than this.
So I gotta say, like
Why'd you buy the
you're-
real one then?
Because I expected them to do better than me.
So that's Star Killer, right?
I really dig the figure. I have a review coming out about it, but I was very disappointed with a lot of things about it.
Can we see your custom Christian Bale Star Killer again?
The Christian Bale Star Killer.
Put that face up there. Turn it that right there, Christian Bale.
Yeah, I see it now. Yeah.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah. The Batman Christian Bale.
That's definitely Sam. This is the version 1 head too. There's a better sculpt that's out now. So I gotta get that. I gotta get that for this.
But this one, his mouth is open.
Well, yeah, it comes with 3 heads. Yeah, it comes with 3 different heads. But yeah, this is supposed to be like a force push effect.
No,
What
no,
you
it's
need
supposed
for this
to.
is you need like a little.
Set it down on the table.
I
So
can
he's
see what
flipping
you're saying.
over.
Yeah,
He's
but it's
using
You
not.
need a
the
1/12 scale ice cream cone for that one.
I think he needs a giant Star Destroyer that he's pulling out of the sky.
Yeah. It's I was definitely though disappointed with it. I gotta say I wasn't as impressed, and for the price, I would wait until the single release comes out if you're gonna pick them up.
All right. Okay, let's go to the reveals. You know what about this Black Widow? They were gone, and then I saw that they showed up again. So they
at clearance, which was weird. Like they disappeared when they first came out, but then they got them back in to put them on clearance.
Yeah.
Funny saying Star Killer the plumber because he's got a force plunger. All right, so ho ho ho, time for Christmas.
Oh.
Santa Claus.
Whoa, look at that. That's cool.
Santa. John, is that going to be in your collection?
No.
They did 2 versions of this though, right?
Awesome.
Yeah, red one too.
A red one.
the
Yeah, I was gonna say
one.
I didn't see this one. I only saw the red one.
These
I
are
thought it was a
exclusively
joke.
on McFarlane's site.
And
So-
have I think it's like $14 shipping for 1 figure too, which is ridiculous.
But they offer a discount if you buy both of them together.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, so if you buy both of them together, it's like $10 off or something like that.
Well, so the other one should have been Superman then.
You'd think
Yeah, I
so,
don't know
right?
why
When you did a Superman.
Yeah, you would think so. Like the red, one of them would be red and one of them would be blue.
Why would I want 2 of the
But I
same?
think like in the comics, like didn't Batman actually dress up like Santa at one point for some story?
I don't know.
I don't know
Clog
either.
together.
No idea.
Hard
I'm sure
pack.
they did it. Knowing DC, I'm sure they did it.
God can keep these. Let's
God
see.
can keep
Mario,
those.
eat your heart out. Mario the plumber, eat your heart out. What about you, Dan? You don't collect the McFarlanes at all, do you?
I do, but I thought that was a joke when I first saw it. I couldn't believe.
I think they should have put these in stores so they could go on clearance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
agree.
Yeah. But I
Um,
gotta say, the new Star Wars ones look better than years past. I think.
Yeah, they definitely gave them like I'll probably pick up the Ewok and just repaint the blue and just put him in my Endor display to have another Ewok. But
Right.
a couple of them are actually pretty decent. I got to give them credit on that. Like they're actually like put some thought into them and made them look cool.
So Jonathan saying Hasbro's Christmas figures are not a trend that we need other companies to follow.
No, they're not. I agree with them because it's wasted sources on something that's for the holiday as opposed to like that could be mainline stuff that we're getting instead of those taking up the peg. So I agree with them there.
What about this Big Bad Toy Store Joker?
Looks cool, but not for me.
Yeah,
it
the
looks cool.
problem is like
Yeah,
Big Bad Toy Store is
I
not
get
like
it, yeah.
someplace I'm going to go get a McFarlane figure. I'm going to Target or Walmart where they're going to be on clearance.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the
but
unfortunate
if you're a collector of McFarlane toys and you got to have all of them, now you're like Big Bad Toy Store's on my radar where it wasn't before.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is true. And I got to get this Joker because he has less paint apps than the previous Joker.
Yes.
G-Force is right though. They missed an opportunity to do like a Joker Grinch. That would have been a good one.
Well, we don't know. Maybe they're listening to him right
And
now.
Warner Brothers, I believe, owns the Grinch license, so it should have been a no-brainer. Yeah, that would have been one I would have definitely tried to swing. That's a
So,
good
Dan,
idea.
He's a
Dan, that's a no for you.
That's funny. Yeah, I'm seeing several people saying the same thing that you guys are. it's a great looking figure, just not. I mean, we've
Yeah.
already got like 10 Jokers.
Yeah.
Especially
It
from
looks
this,
really
this
cool.
story. You got like
It-
what 4 different iterations of Joker from 3 Jokers, like from the 3 Jokers story alone.
Yeah.
If I was in the store, they were like on clearance, and I
Clearance,
had like
yeah.
3 different versions. I might pick this one, but I'm not going to Big Bad to get it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Sorry, Big Bad. What about the
Yeah.
Masters of the Universe, Skeletor, and
That was the same thing with that Joker pack that they did with the interrogation room. Like, if I found that in Target, I would pick that up in a heartbeat. But the fact that it's a McFarlane store exclusive and I have to pay another $14 to ship it, like, no, I'm good.
John?
It's neat, but I already own Skeletor, so I don't need it.
Now this is in the vein of the Motu, right? The Origins.
Yeah, it looks like an Origin Skeletor.
So but the thing is, like, now they have an Origins cartoon version, right? Have you seen those? They have like a cartoon themed Motu Origins.
Isn't that what I'm looking at right now?
I don't know. Are these the cartoon ones? Let me see if I can find the picture.
Well, that looks like a cartoon head. I mean, look at that giant head.
I bet.
Yeah, but then
Funko Pop
the ones
cartoon head.
The ones that are cartoon is they have like that Filmation thing on the package that says
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, let me pull this guy up.
Like a Revelations one, but it's not. It's for
Yeah,
the cartoon, not for the. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, let me pull it. This thing right here.
Is the heart shape deliberate?
I think it is, right. Like, but see this where it has like in cartoon, it's like
I've
Filmation lettering.
I've never seen those.
Yeah, so this is like going to be their new Origins setup where they're going to look a little bit more like cartoony, like from the cartoon, more from the cartoon than the Origins figures. Because those other ones are based on the figures, and these are going to be more sculpted to look like what you saw in the cartoon.
And now, are these going to be in stores, or is this?
I have no idea. This
creation?
is
but like
Classic Toys UK shared this, and this is the first that I'm seeing.
This is what bothers me about this. Okay, like if there's going to be like He-Man, Skeletor, Beastman, Tila, Orko, like they do like
already bought in the Origins.
Do like 10 figures, maybe. You know what I mean? Like you could pick like 5 good guys and 5 bad guys to do, and it's just like a little one-off, like one series. I would buy
the whole line. That's the
I would buy all 10. But yes, if they start over with this and go, we're gonna do the whole line, including Sunman and Manny Faces and Wheel Guy with a wheel in his chest and Rock Lore and all these things, like, and do like 100 figures again.
Yeah.
Riz, I'm like, no, I'm out. I'm not gonna collect a whole nother line. I just got done collecting one.
See, I thought this was all like, I thought He-Man got pulled, like Masters got pulled from stores, and they were just going.
I think they're doing the Origins all on their website now, right?
Okay, and that's
Sonny,
what I'm saying.
It's the Filmation Skeletor. Okay, so it is the Filmations. It is the Filmation Skeletor. So this is the Filmation.
See, I don't know enough about Motu or like was a fan of it, so I don't have a single one of these figures or anything. I don't really know much about the line other than I had heard it was going to Mattel Creations.
Yeah.
And they're just giving us a Skeletor big head for no reason. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. So Mr. B has joined us.
Welcome, Mr. B.
What's
is that like the Rudolph?
He-Man figures going to be Mattel stores only. I don't know anything about it. Classic Toys UK, he posted that thing. I think that they're for order over there or something like that. I haven't seen anything else besides like a press release that I saw on somebody's website where they were talking about them, and it was basically the same pictures. But those might have been from Toy Fair or something. Those pictures.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's going on this weekend.
You sure, John? Because look at that really fun picture.
Yeah.
You can recreate that on your shelf behind you.
And does he glow in the dark? Is that
yeah?
I like that. I like that Skeletor head though, because I loved that facial version. Expression in the cartoon. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he glows in the dark. I didn't put any of those pictures, but it looked like he was glowing.
It's either that or what I might end up doing is just getting like my favorite what I think are the 5 best good guys and 5 best bad guys. And
the problem is, if they do the entire line, you're going to have your 10 figures, and then you're going to see another one go, oh man, that should have been one of my 10. And then you're going to pick that up.
And you're getting that too. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll be right back.
All right. But I thought it was pretty cool that they're doing this Filmation line. I haven't collected any of the Motu Origins. Really, I have like maybe 3. So I might pick up a couple just because they look kind of cool. They look different.
So what I'm really curious about though is whatever happened to that story about like how, I mean, I even had the Mattel reps tell me this, that they sold when Mattel was having issues like years ago, they actually sold Masters of the Universe to another company.
Oh, it's possible.
And that their rights of ownership in making figures ends here in 2023. And starting in 2024, they actually have to license it from the new company that actually owns Masters of the Universe. Like,
yeah, I get what you're saying.
So are the prices going to go up now? Do you know what I mean?
Yes, and they're going to pack in fewer accessories.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. All right, so let's. This is Boss Fight Studios, and this is like a luchador.
Yeah.
Figure. So I don't know who collects wrestling figures and stuff like that. Dan,
it looks
I know
cool.
You have a whole
crossed with
room,
Street Fighter.
Something like that. It's very fancy.
Very.
I think there's a little dog that goes with him or something like that. But anybody ever pick up any of these Boss Fight figures?
No.
Yeah, me either. Anybody in the chat? Because let's see. Gap says yes, prices are going.
I don't need a whole new collection of stuff. I already got enough.
Are they? What's their price point, Vern?
I don't know. I actually don't know off the top of my head. I just saw the reveal on this, so
is that what it is? So it's like a half and half thing. It's not the whole Masters of the Universe line. It's certain characters. Okay, I got you.
All right.
Oh, actually, they're not bad, man. $22.99.
Oh, that is pretty good.
And they're pretty decent figures too. They have a Zorro.
Yeah, they're on par
but those aren't 6-inch figures. They think they're 3 3/4 inch.
18.
No, they make 6-inch figures. They're on par
make
with
6-inch. But I think that price point he's talking about with like the Zorro and stuff are the 4-inch figures or whatever.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking at the Luchador. This Lucha Libre.
Yeah,
it's $22.99. It says stunning.
Is it a 6-inch?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they did Conan, they did Pentagon, Phoenix, and Vampiro, not Dragon Lee, Ultimo Dragon, and a couple other like legends of Luchador.
You're right though. The Phantom, they have the Phantom,
yeah,
and the Zorro. I think those are 1/18 scale.
Okay.
And then Mondo apparently has another 1/6 scale that they were showing off.
That's a cool looking figure, man.
Right. The thing is, since I stopped collecting those, since the 12-inch GI Joes went away, I just completely got away from like this 12-inch figure, the 1/6 scale. But they do look cool. These do look cool.
Yeah.
Nobody's jumping right on that.
Oh, I can't.
He's on clearance, isn't he? The Mattel one. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I
bought Whiplash for $6.58 the other day.
Why Whiplash just hit our stores?
I keep seeing people posting pictures of the Mr. T little wrestling Motu dude, and I've never found one at all. That's the one that I would get, but never seen.
Which one?
The Mr. T. You know how they do the little wrestling versions of those Motu figures or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even think I have the Mr. T one. He's really hard
I've
to
never
find.
been able to find him.
Yeah.
I had him on. I had a pre-order a long time ago that Walmart canceled on me, so I didn't get that first one. But all right, and then
no, never liked Biker Mars from Mars. I never got into it.
Come on, you know who these guys remind me of? These remind me of Boba Fett's crew.
So do you guys know the backstory of this company though that's doing this?
They
No.
look like sectars or Rambo figures. The way the legs and arms are built.
Oh, no. This includes hot dog.
Did you guys watch the Toys That Made Us?
Some of it. I watched like a couple of the episodes.
I
All
thought
right, so-
I'd seen them all, but maybe not.
So Brian Volk Weiss, the guy who directed and that's his show.
Yeah.
He started this company called the Nancel Company.
Yes, yeah. Nacelle
and
is
Ryan-
his company, yeah.
What's the
Ryan
company?
Reynolds,
Nacelle.
Nancel Company, and
Okay.
that's
Nacelle, it's from Star Trek. It's the nacelles that are on the ship
Right.
and
that make hyperspace happen or warp speed happen.
Ryan Reynolds is a partner in the company, and that's how they acquired these things. They're doing biker mice from Mars.
The
They're
Mint Mobile guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Mint Mobile guy.
He put in some money for Brian.
Well, what else has he done?
Yeah.
They're doing
Lantern?
they're bringing back a TV show for biker mice and Mars. They're bringing.
That's a good idea.
I think Street Sharks is coming back,
Oh,
and
that's
something.
cool.
Oh, then they're going to have a Street Sharks toy line.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
He
pretty
does
smart.
is it a vodka or is it a doesn't Ryan Reynolds have a vodka too? Or is it a
Something like
whiskey? Or is it a whiskey?
Don't all those celebrities have something with their name on it?
Seems like
He's also the director who did the other Star Wars documentary that had Marsha Lucas in it on A&E.
Okay.
Or
You're not
Vice.
talking
Vice.
about Ryan Reynolds, though. You're talking
No,
about
I'm
this
talking about
like-
Brian Volk Weiss. Yeah, the guy whose company this is. Yeah.
Because I think the only thing I know Ryan Reynolds from is Mint Mobile.
Oh, really? Not any movies?
Is he an actor?
Well, he was, but yeah, now he owns he owns like 10 different companies. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, or at least has a stake in. Like he funded money for Nacelle. Yeah.
aviation
he is.
again.
Of course, he's
What do
part
they call
owner.
it? Is he a silent partner or something like that? I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, in the tequila, right, or whatever.
Is that what it is? He does tequila? Is that what?
Yeah, aviation or whatever, like Dandy just
Is he
said.
the one-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he do one of those shows where it's like did he do an episode of the one with David Letterman?
Mm,
I don't know if he did one of
I
those
think
yet.
he did. I think he did one. They made like pizza in the oven or something. But he talked about. I think isn't he from Canada originally?
Yeah.
He said that I think he said when he was 18 or whatever, he told his parents he was going to college and he just got in his car and drove to LA to be an actor. Something like that. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So
He's him and Bradley Cooper. That's why.
So if he has his way, is he going to do the same thing like he does with Mint Mobile, where we're going to see a commercial where he's like, you know what, our action figures were $10.99, and everybody else started raising their price. So what we did is we decided to lower our price, and now our action figures are $9.99.
He might. You never know, John. I don't know what the price points of these are, but I did hear like this was a plan. They have another property too, some kind of. It's not Transformers, but it's something with like robots that they have like the rights to that as well.
Oh,
Is it
A couple of-
Beetleborgs? It's Beetleborgs, I bet.
No, I don't think so. I forget what the
GoBots. It's the GoBots.
something along those lines.
all right. What about this? Do you guys watch this? This pirate whatever show? What's it called? On
One Piece.
One Piece. Sorry.
Oh, that's what this is? No.
Yeah.
No. I always say I'm not an anime fan. Like I like animated things, but I just don't like the style of anime.
It's a live action TV show.
It's a
now.
live action version of the anime.
No, I know, yeah. I'm not familiar with it or anything like that. Like,
But I mean, this one face sculpt down at the bottom right, where he's got like the straw hat on, that's pretty amazing.
I was just gonna say I'm not into them, but I love those sculpts. They're all very
Yeah.
The
expressive.
face is just like hilarious to me, but yeah,
Yeah, because he can shape and bend
yeah.
his face and his body, even. Yeah.
okay.
I think it looks cool. I mean, like,
They look good.
I mean, SH Figuarts, so you know it's
It's
going to be a
SH
little
Figuarts,
pricey.
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that.
You know, it's going to be quality at least.
I'll just let everybody jump in and say no, not interested. And then
Well, won't
What
his
about
legs
this
fall
mask
off when you pick
figure?
him up?
Oh, whose is
Yeah,
that?
that's,
Oh, hold on. Jonathan is saying, been looking at SH Figure Arts Luffy just today.
Yeah,
He's going to
Jonah's
get that
an
to
anime
go with
guy.
his G.I. Joe Cobra Super 7 mothership.
my 3PO. Every time I pick my 3PO up, his legs and arms fall off. So I'm not. I'm not.
With the Chewbacca?
I'm not 100% with these with that company because the way they do the joints, yes, it's an interesting way to do it, but
Uh-huh.
the problem is when you pick them up and move, like you can pick it up and move it around, but if you just like shake it a little bit, his legs and arms will fall off.
You're talking about figure arts, right?
Yeah.
So
because they got that ball, they got that ball and pin joint system that's on all their figures.
This guy is very like posable and he seems pretty sturdy and stuff like that. But when you get him into certain poses, like it'll pop off. The leg will pop off or whatever. You just got to stick it back on.
Yeah.
But,
the only figure art I have is the Infinity War Hulk, and that's what I painted for the Ninth Sister. That was the body I used for Ninth Sister. So
you increase the value of your figure arts.
Yeah. I got it at a steal too. I think I only paid like $25 or $15 for the Hulk. So like it wasn't even like a second thought of like, oh yeah, this is gonna be Ninth Sister.
So I have a question about this mask figure. Was there a cartoon?
Yeah.
Is this based on the cartoon version then?
It might be, yeah.
It was a comic.
Because I don't remember any of this from the movie.
Yeah, what do you mean? You don't remember that face one side to side? That was this might be the cartoon though. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
that's cool that they did the face blurring side to side.
It's Jim Carrey the mask. I was trying to figure out like what mask they like. I thought you were talking about like mask, the abbreviated mask.
Dan says he's already pre-ordered like 6 of these.
I
display
the one. I went with 5
because you wanted to display one with each head, right?
And Jonathan, I never said that 3PO was not awesome. That 3PO is awesome. I love it because it's chrome vac metalized. I love the R2. They look great, but I'm just saying you can't pick them up and pose them and move them around.
What does float mean?
I still don't know why the Black Series and like Hasbro hasn't adapted that vac metal stuff into more things. You know, like if you get rid of
Hasbro
Partners collection and start using that on your droids and stuff.
Hasbro said the reason they won't do it is because the process is technically bad for the environment. Wow. The chemical used to vac metalize something is technically bad for the environment. And Hasbro drew the line a long time ago saying they wouldn't use that process because those chemicals that are used in it technically shouldn't be used, you know.
Got you. Okay.
Well, G-Force doesn't have any figure arts. He only has Mayfec. So
gotcha.
Not a collection, by the way. Not a collection.
Yeah, I guess okay.
Jonathan's saying Mayfecs are better than figure arts. You know what the thing is between the Mayfecs?
A smidgen. It's a smidgen better. The smidgen is different than
my figure arts. My figure arts always feel like they're just a little bit too small for the scale, for the 6-inch scale.
I think so.
Yeah.
Like just like 5-10%, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like with Spider-Man or a character like that, I think he could be a little bit smaller because he's supposed to be like a teenager or whatever.
Yeah.
Can I ask about that, by the way? Did any of you guys pick up the Spider-Man 3-pack that came out earlier in the year and were upset about the fact that they're being like, I knew they were going to be like, they had said that when the 3-pack came out. So I passed on the 3-pack and got the 3 that I wanted with the removable, you know, masks and stuff like that. But
listen,
I was wondering if anybody was mad about that. Like,
I didn't get either one because they're MCU versions. I don't get MCU Marvel.
Okay.
I like the head sculpts on them. I said last week that what I wish they would have done was offered everybody who bought that 3-pack an option to get the heads.
Sculpts. I think, that would have been a smart.
I think that would have been a 100% a positive PR move on their part. Since
even if you had to call in and like they did with that Power Ranger head,
even if you had to pay like $20 or $30, I think people would have done it, right? Because really, you're getting You're getting
figures,
two of the same Spider-Man. The only difference is the Holland one. You are getting a new suit, so that's kind of cool that they did that.
And that's the suit I wanted.
The head will fit on the other one.
Yeah,
that I didn't think they addressed. Right, I wish that they would have said. And by the way, if you have that 3-pack, these heads will fit.
Yeah.
I wish they would have said that. Anyways, Cat is here saying hello. Hello.
Oh, Cat.
Hey, Cat.
So I have a question. Like earlier, like Waze said. Sorry to like put in this, but I don't want to forget it. Earlier, Waze said something about he got all the X-Men 97 6-inch.
Right.
I was sitting in the store Friday doing my Lego job, and I was like, wait a minute, we have 3 3/4-inch X-Men 97. The 6-inch ones are coming out. We've got all the Lego stuff for X-Men 97. Where the hell is the TV show?
It got pushed back. It was supposed to be out now, but because of the writers' strike and everything,
writers have been on strike.
Yeah, they pushed it back to the beginning of 2024.
Dude, they should have had that.
Already had that stuff.
Yeah, that stuff should have been done. Like, because
animation is really fast. It doesn't take 2.5 years to do animation. They didn't have the stories yet or anything.
So they just waited. They announced everything and said they put a release date, and then just said, "All right, now that we got a release date, no one's going to work on it." And then they went, "Oh crap! Now that we got to work on it, there's a strike."
Yeah, because my guess is if they're smart, they have that. Because like if they plan on this being a continuous series, my guess is maybe they try to go back to the old model where like, all right, we're going to drop 6 episodes in one shot while we're still working on the next 6, and then we'll give you the next 6. And like to keep the show run, you know what I mean, running all year is my assumption, but I don't know if that's like the way they're thinking.
Oh no, I thought they were only going to do like 10 or 12 episodes.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but for whatever reason it got pushed, and then now it's early 2024.
Because that's the one show from Marvel I want to actually watch.
Yeah, me too.
And I was just sitting there going, wait a minute, did I miss it? Like, what happened? Like, all the stuff's out, and
it came on, John. You didn't see it? They pulled it right with Willow.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I don't have like any of those figure singles, you know, like I haven't picked them up before. So for me, it was like, all right, they're going to be on cards. I can display them with the Spidey stuff. I'm in, you know what I mean? So that's why for me, with the X-Men 97, I
bet you that animated show's already in the can. It's ready to go. I think they just realigned their schedule, knowing they're not going to have fresh content for a while. So they went back to spread stuff out. That's why I think that when that Echo finally hits, I bet you we don't get it all on one day.
Well, they were saying that it's all going to be one day.
Yeah, they said that originally, and then they pushed the date.
Now it's totally off the schedule altogether, though.
Right,
they pulled that whole show off the schedule.
But I think that when they do put it, and maybe they don't even put it on Disney Plus, maybe they just air it on ABC.
Yeah, or sell it out to one of the other networks.
Like a prime time show.
What show?
Yeah. Echo.
The hell was that?
Don't worry about it, John. This is the Supergirl from Marvel. Right, these guys make okay figures, but they're like, it's like these guys are talking about SH Figuarts and Mafex. These guys are just a little bit below both of those, I think.
Okay.
More like the Bandai models, I think, the model kits.
I've seen some of those Revoltech pretty cheap.
Oh yeah. I know what you're saying. I've seen them. Yeah,
$30-$40.
She should have a cloth like skirt and cape.
Well, I think this is cloth with a wire in it. The cape looks like it, but yeah, the skirt should definitely be cloth, but I don't think it is. I think it's plastic.
Yeah.
Echo was the deaf girl in the Hawkeye TV show, John, if you didn't see it.
Yeah.
Why do we need a show about her?
That's what I said.
Because she was. What about Funko? Any Funko people in here?
She's got a cool story arc.
Yeah.
No.
This is pretty cool because this is a black light, and it's a Entertainment Earth exclusives, but it's like a black light glow. So if you have the black lights in your rooms, I know all 3 of you have black light systems.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I have a black light system in my car.
In your car?
Yeah, because
in your Scooby-Doo van?
I drive around black light. Yeah, it's great. I would never know this is Stranger Things if they didn't put Stranger Things on the box. Like the
really?
Logo.
What would you think it is if it wasn't Stranger Things? Would you go, why did they have that Bon Jovi dude?
Yeah, I'd be sitting here thinking to myself, what? Let's see,
What
Wasp.
band is this from?
I'd be like, Wasp used that guitar. I'm like, who else used that guitar? And I'd be like, trying to rack my brain.
Is that White Snake?
Didn't Quiet Riot one of the guys use a guitar like that too?
Maybe. Let's see. Dan, are you getting this for your black light room?
Yeah, aren't they Revoltech? They might be Revoltech. You're right, John. Yeah.
You know, I put down a couple of those actually when they went on clearance, like some of the Marvel ones.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I kind of regretted it because they were only like.
The Carnage was fantastic, but the Venom I'm not 100% happy with. The Carnage is awesome. Yeah.
So with the Funkos, I found the original Starbuck and Apollo Funkos at like Big Lots, which is like a discount store. They were like $4 a piece or something. So I ended up getting them, thinking like, oh, okay, I'll hold on to them, whatever. And then I saw some video on like TikTok where people were like, oh, who's gonna know? And then they cut the heads of the Funko, and there's like a brain inside.
Huh.
What?
So I actually cut one of the Battlestar Galactica dude's heads because I wanted to see this. There's no brain inside. That's
okay. My Big Lots doesn't have anything. We have one right across the street almost, and there's never any toys at it. I hate it.
They're good for DVD. You can get like I found Solo on Blu-ray and Rogue One on Blu-ray, and they were $1.99 a piece.
Wow.
I
get them for free on
Big Lots. Yeah. Well, I still like having physical media, so I still like buying DVDs and having it because
I only do that for 80s cartoons, and because
so
everything else.
Like for The Office, for instance, if you watch it on Peacock, they go back and edit the show all the time. So like there's stuff that's in the show that's supposed to be in the show that they remove from the episode. So like so that doesn't happen on Disney. I have the physical media of stuff and I still like buying it. So then this way, if they do go back and change something or remove something, I have the actual physical media that I can always go back to watch.
Like they get rid of the Starbucks cup.
Yeah. Then there's a lot of things
stuff needs to stay
like
in.
The jokes from some of the stuff in The Office now is inappropriate for the times now, and so they went, and
the thing is with certain shows they don't even air certain episodes anymore.
Yeah, and that's why. And it's like so to have the actual stuff, I always like buying actual DVDs, and now Target no longer sells DVDs. They all removed their section this week.
We started getting rid of their music too, but I noticed what they are keeping are the records.
The records,
yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. But they got rid of all the other CDs.
And then they expanded the book section, so like they started to carry more books.
Books again, yeah.
But they even do that with like certain animated series. Like if you go on Tubi and you look at the Transformers original animated series. The episode called Starscream's Ghost is not in the lineup. Yeah. It's not there, but it's on the DVD. It's like why did they leave out Starscream's Ghost? Like
maybe there's probably something in the episode. Like if you ever watched this show called Bosom Buddies, it was Tom Hanks and I can't remember the other guy's name, but they dress up like women to live in this like hotel or whatever, right? This apartment, but really cheap. But it's for women or something like that. So that's the whole gimmick of the show. The theme song was a Billy Joel song when the show first came out. But if you ever watch it in reruns, it's a completely different song now. Some generic band did a song for the reruns or something.
Oh yeah.
They don't have the rights for it anymore.
Sometimes they don't have the right. Yeah, they don't have the syndicated rights for that.
So there might be something in that episode that they couldn't.
Yeah.
It would take out too much of the episode.
Yeah.
It's kind of like GI Joe. Like if you look on streaming services, they have the mass device one where Cobra could teleport, but they never show the Pyramid of Darkness. You know what I mean? That 5-part is only available on DVD. They won't show the Pyramid of Darkness on any streaming service, and I don't know why. Hasbro won't even play it on their YouTube channel.
Yeah, no, there's other people that have it like uploaded though that you can watch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there are. Yeah.
Anybody order these Simpsons?
No, but they're pretty. I like Marge and
cool.
They're cool.
whoever.
It's timely.
I mean,
if you like to decorate for
is
Halloween,
is that Lisa when she grows up with the rake? I mean,
I don't know. I think
who's
that's
he? Why is he here?
Because they
Ned?
need to do a Freddy Homer.
Is that Homer? Yeah. There's
But
two
Homer's
versions
over
of Homer?
there.
I know.
No,
Yeah.
Or is
Homer,
that Fred?
I think that's Ned next door.
Ned. Yeah, that might be Ned dressed up as
That's
Homer,
Freddy.
and then Homer dressed up as Freddy.
Doesn't
No,
Ned have,
Homer's dressed up as Ned. It looks like, right?
but
Isn't
Ned
that who
has
he's-
glasses, doesn't he?
It's too
I
confusing.
can't
If
see
it's
the
too
picture.
confusing, then
Yeah.
it's not worth getting, right?
Yeah.
Jonathan
Willie.
saying it's Willie.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. That like the family consisted of Marge, Bart, Homer, and Willie. Yeah. Lisa wasn't born in that family.
He wasn't born
Okay.
on that one.
Yeah.
What about this was from that RumbleCon. This was the Mezco Toys 112. I was looking to see because they had that toy fair in New York, right? Or whatever. I was wondering
This is a
if people were
Vern
gonna be
head
posting
swap.
pictures, but they'd have to swim there from what I understand because of all the flooding.
Yeah, we got hit these last couple of days, man. It's been raining since last Friday and hasn't. It only stopped for one day this past week, and literally, even my backyard was completely flooded.
But aren't you glad that this rain came now so that you know that the roof is intact in that place that you're just moved into?
Well, that's what I said. I even said that to my landlord. I said this is a test for all the work you guys did to make sure that no water gets in, nothing. We're good. Okay.
Way to see the positive.
It started raining here I don't know, yesterday afternoon, and it only stopped at 8 o'clock this morning. It rained.
Yeah,
that doesn't happen that often in Florida, where it just constantly rains for hours and hours. And I think it's going to rain. It looks like it's going to rain again here any minute.
Our storm's going to Ireland. Gerard keeps updating me because he's been watching it come from New York across the water.
That way. Yeah, he's like, why are you guys sending your weather over here?
Yeah, sounds funny.
So this is a Valiverse with their big IP license that they got. It's like Heart of the Hidden Dragon Moon something.
Soul of the Dragon. Soul of the Dragon.
Soul of the Dragon.
This is Jason David Frank's final movie. Yeah.
G-Force is saying this is a sell, so he's going to get them and sell them.
See, I would be for picking up the Jason David Frank, but because it's a Valiverse, nope.
No, just because of the company.
Yep, because I refuse to support that company. Like I keep saying.
That's like me with NECA. I won't buy NECA, so yeah, I understand it completely.
Yeah,
very limited runs. Is why
I would be all in on this Tommy, but my guess is you're gonna have to buy this as a 2-pack because if they just sell Tommy, they're gonna sell Tommy. Jason David Frank out, no problem. It's gonna be the other one. They're gonna have a problem. So
it's interesting though because there's not going to be another movie or whatever, right? This is it? Yeah. So it's like a one and done thing, unless they tried to build a universe off of it and maybe use that IP, like if they bought a comic license for the IP, because they already do their Action Force comic book. So it would be really interesting.
It's possible, and it's possible because
book on it.
His daughter's in this movie, and she's now trying to make a career for herself. I'm trying to think of her name. Serena Vincent, who was a Power Ranger as well, and then a bunch of horror stuff. She's in this movie. So there's other people attached to this. I think another 1 or 2 former Power Rangers are all in this. So it's essentially a grown-up version of Power Rangers. The plot and the story and the synopsis.
I just don't understand why if you were in
Power Rangers, where you're doing a Power Rangers knockoff.
Yes, movie? Yeah. Why would you do that? Yeah, make up your own.
They wouldn't hire you back for Power Rangers.
He really wanted to do the Lord Draken story. Once that story took off from the comic books, he was all in and hoping that Hasbro would see that a lot of fans kind of want that darker, edgier Power Rangers story that we've never really gotten before. So basically, this was his option, was to, do basically what Zack Snyder did with his Star Wars movie. His Star Wars movie didn't get picked up by Lucasfilm, so he took his idea, tweaked it a little bit, and made it on its own. But it's still essentially a Star Wars / Dune movie, just without those IPs attached to it. You know what I mean?
I think it's going to be a test because, like, so for them, right? Because they did that license with Tim Kennedy or whatever for that Duster figure, and apparently they say, well, we order too many. I think they overestimated his fan base, and they had like a warehouse full, and they had to let those go for like next to nothing. So they went out, and I don't think this was their first choice for an IP. So, but this is what they ended up with. They probably had multiple things, and they were like, oh, okay, we're going to try for this one. We're going to try for this one. And then, like, if we end up with this one, then that's what we're going to do. And I guess they do have to sell it. And I think the face sculpts look decent. But you're right. It's just Power Rangers on their figure body.
Yes, to me, pretty much. And like, it'll sell if Jason David Frank is by himself, they'll sell out no problem. It's going to be the other one that they'll be stuck with, because people who are Power Rangers fans are going to want this, especially if the head sculpt fits on the Power Rangers. It's a no-brainer. You got like a current head sculpt of him. It works. You know what I'm saying? But I can't see this, like, I don't see this IP being anything that's like, oh my God, this is going to blow them out of the water or put them on the map for Valiverse. Like, I could see it. You're going to just have Power Rangers fans buying this. It's not going to be anybody else that like really cares for it. You know what I mean?
Right. Hey, Joseph is asking, is that Power Rangers? We were just going over it. It's not. It's a guy who was in Power Rangers is making a Power Rangers knockoff movie, whatever. But Valiverse has an IP for that movie, so they're creating like figures from it.
Yeah, and we mean no disrespect either. Like, he was a tremendous person. He did a lot for the Ranger community. So like, don't think we're insulting by saying this. But
I loved the guy. He was one of the guys that got up and did silly pictures with me whenever I saw him at a convention. He picked me up by my neck, pick me up and throw me, and you know what I mean. Like, him and Lou Ferrigno were like, got me in some kind of weird, crazy thing one time. It was crazy.
Yeah. I could see this being, one of those things where they saw they had an opportunity to make some money by making these figures because nobody else is going to pick up the IP for it,
Right. And I almost think, like, why aren't they vying to try to get, what's that, Zack Snyder's new movie or whatever?
Yeah, the Rebel movie. That would have been something, especially because a lot of those Star Wars fans would have bought those figures because they fit in with Star Wars. It just would have been something easily, like if you made them in the same scale and same style as Black Series, it would be an easy sell, because a lot of those actors are people that, like, I like Charlie Hunnam. I'm so happy he's going to be in a successful movie. You know what I mean? Like, it's about time. He was Jackson.
Is he going to be in a successful movie? We hope it's successful.
We hope it's successful. Yeah,
The problem
I
with him.
I hope for his sake and the girl who's the lead, they're both really good actors and actresses, and neither one of them have been able to like really land a movie role that's been
not a good movie role. The problem with him is he's so typed into that Sons of Anarchy role. It's kind of like Mark Hamill and Luke Skywalker, right? Where he was like, he's so Luke Skywalker that, like, for him to do another movie was kind of like weird. And I think Hunnam's the same way with that Sons of Anarchy, but he had a really great show on that Apple TV Plus.
And then he also came like so close. He was going to play the dude in 50 Shades of Grey and then backed out at the last minute because he didn't want to get involved in that fandom and stuff like that. I really hope for his sake that he does very well in this Zack Snyder movie, because I personally would like to see him get a shot to play Green Arrow in the DC universe.
Yeah, that would be cool. He did a really good job on that Apple TV Plus series. I can't remember. It's Santa whatever town or whatever, where he's in like India or whatever, and he's like a medic, but he's also a criminal. That's actually a really good show. He did really good in that. I liked it. I stuck with it every week. So Sonny's taking off. Thanks for joining us, Sonny. And
I'm probably gonna have to take off too, because my thing's down to 10% already.
All right. So Ramen Toys did a live stream today, and they were talking about these figures. this is the last day, apparently. If you're interested in these, if you get the whole set, you get the Tom Cruise head.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
But it's not Tom Cruise.
You're right. It's not Tom Cruise. It's Pete Mitchell.
Are they
It's not
still
Elvis.
on sale too?
Yeah. But anyways,
Definitely
I
cool.
wanted to show those off really quick. And then also I wanted to point out that I just saw this picture yesterday. This is the Marshall that they have up. And I guess he's going to go back to regular price pretty soon. But I didn't notice what is this, 3030 over here on the side? Yeah. So it looks like they got a prototype for him. He was talking about the MOQs and people were complaining about the price on this thing. But he was showing they really barely got 1,000.
I think it's called 30.
Yeah. Okay. 30. Yeah. They barely got like 1,000 orders. That's why he was explaining why the price is a little bit higher. They really got to get higher MOQs to get that price to come down. So, and it doesn't seem realistic because how many people are really, so now how many people were interested in the Marshall. And it could be that if they actually got the license and could brand it as Brave Star, they'd probably be able to raise that number, right?
Oh yeah, they would.
Because if you could advertise that as Brave Star, then
they would sell a ton.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, Jonathan saying we were talking about 3030 in the chat about a month ago. Yeah, and I didn't realize it, but there it is. It looks pretty cool. So that's
why they only have 16.
Okay. The only thing I'm looking at the trailer right now. The only thing that's in Rebel Moon that looks like Star Wars is the lightsabers.
Yes.
Oh no, the whole entire thing is straight.
Yeah, but the whole concept of it
they've got crowns, they've got Pegasus, there's freaking Manticore. None of this stuff would be in Star Wars.
Lobot's in it.
They got medieval outfits. They're wearing like stuff you'd see in Game of Thrones.
There's robots, John. There's spaceship.
They got a cult with like hoods over their face that have eyes.
They're in a galaxy far away.
There's an emperor.
Something funny, right? Like if you we'll talk about that Ahsoka really quick, but when Star Wars is set in a galaxy far, far away, and then they went to a galaxy that's super far from that galaxy. So is that galaxy close to Earth? I'm just saying because
eventually,
because didn't Balin say something in the show? Like, didn't he come up with a quote that was like an Earth quote? So did he get that quote from being so close to Earth? He was able to get some.
That's what I'm saying. Earth.
I'm so glad my phone's about to die.
Earth is in the Star Wars universe. We are in the Star Wars universe. we are retelling.
The C-3PO is on Earth telling us the story.
We are telling the story of something that happened a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And that's why I've always said, what's the significance overall in the reason that this story traveled from galaxy to galaxy
C-3PO to galaxy story
over thousands of years.
He's basically the Centennial Man.
No, Hu Yang is.
Yeah.
He's Robin Williams?
Yeah.
Hu Yang's 25.
Right. Also,
he's the one telling the story. That's what I liked about that.
This
the best release of the day right here.
My phone's gonna out, so I'll see you guys.
This pin set is a must buy. This is something that everyone has to get. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep.
So G4, wait, hold on. G4 says, why don't we have a 6-inch Class of the Titans figure? I posted a thing on my community page. I actually sent Ramen a message asking him, hey, did you ever think about doing this? And I hit him up in the live stream today too. But anyways, these are from Left Coast Graphics. He's got 2 orders of pins, right, that are on pre-order. What do you like most about them, John?
I think that it's really cool that it is a Jabba the Hutt pin set, and the arms are in the same position that my vintage Jabba the Hutt's arms are always in. So it reminds me of the vintage one.
It's a Slime Lord, John.
Dan, what do you like most about this pin?
I like that he went out of his, forgive the pun, out of the box with the box, like the foldable little display.
Yeah, that is really cool, right? To set up the pin.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really cool idea. I liked it too. He's got two versions. He's got this version which is all colored, and then he's got this version which is not colored. So, and then next week after the pre-order is done, he's going to pipeline reveal these.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just messing around. But anyways, those are from
pipeline was the word of the week.
Love Ghost Graphics.
I got to take off like Waze did, guys.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Bye, Dandy.
Bye. Thank you.
Did you guys see Steven Spielberg's E.T. at the Republic Center in episode 2? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do we win? What do we win?
He was there. A whole bunch of them. There was like 3 or 4 of them in that little booth.
In the addition,
they were going, vote now, vote now, vote
so,
now.
like G-Force is saying, if it was a long time ago, basically in a galaxy far, far away, why is Star Wars tech so much more advanced? For the same reason that the Battlestar Galactica people who live galaxies away that sent their futuristic ships all the way to Earth where they recolonized, right? And then when they finally get there, they're barely in the 1980s.
Like Earth was, not...
Yeah, because they forgot that they had all this futuristic technology. They left it all on the bottom of that big pyramid.
They crashed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they all got concussions and forgot.
But for some reason, because the Battlestar children were in space for so long, they could still float and ended up floating up into a tree. Remember that?
What? Say it again.
All the kids from Battlestar Galactica that were up, they were like, "You kids gotta hide," and they floated up into a tree.
Oh.
And the way they explained it was because they spent so much time in space that they could now float when they were on Earth.
They can change their density so that they can float. I thought they had like little things on their belts or something. Didn't they have the?
I don't know.
No, it was just that they
were just. It's because they spent. So if you spend a lot of time in space in zero gravity, when you come back to Earth, you'll learn how to float.
So when did they invent the technology to turn their motorcycles and Vipers and stuff invisible?
What?
Did they ever address that?
Well, that's right. They did. They were invisible when they landed.
Because I'm
on
always
Earth.
wondering, like, when they went into a fight with the Cylons, why didn't they just turn invisible so the Cylons wouldn't know where to shoot them?
They did turn invisible when they landed on Earth. You're right. I didn't think about that either. Yeah, they just suddenly had new stuff when they landed on Earth. It was crazy.
It was just weird. Like, we got all this new tech. All right. So you guys had your Ahsoka close out. And what was the big decisions that you guys made based on the conversation?
Well, we couldn't really come to any conclusion because Ways of the Sith and I argued about every single point we had about the show.
It's the highway.
We're exactly opposite in our thoughts about stuff. Like I'm like Balin's staying on the planet and going over to his thing, and we're never going to see him again because the actor died. And he's like, "No, we're going to see a conclusion to that. We have to." And I'm like, "Why?" They had no plan for it. And I'm like, if anything, it's going to be now they're going to go, okay, what we thought we would do with Balin, we're going to do with Shin. And they'll rewrite Shin's part.
I guess that could be like...
Because one of the guys brought up Carson Teva, and they were like, you do realize that everything Teva's doing is probably what Cara Dune would have done if she had stayed on the show.
I don't agree with that.
But they're going, well, which character is going to now take the role of all the stuff she was going to do?
See, I disagree.
And I think some of it is what Carson Teva's doing. You know?
I disagree with that because one, she was never an X-Wing pilot, and Carson Teva was introduced way before she left the show. He actually gave her a badge to be the marshal of that planet, right? But I don't ever see that she would have been the one to fly back and forth and go.
Well, maybe not being like an X-Wing pilot, but maybe she would have been the one to show up in the Senate and say, Hera, or should have been saved or something. I don't know.
Because she was so like almost anti-establishment. Because she didn't even want the badge. She probably would have she only took the badge to get Mayfeld out of the prison. And she just used it for her own good.
Because they were going to have an entire show with her and all this stuff they were going to do, and now it's probably going to end up being a Carson Teva show.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I don't think they can build. I honestly don't think that they can really build that big of a show around him. Maybe like an X-Wing squad or something like that, but then they'd have to come up with like another kind of main character pilot.
You don't think he can carry it?
Maybe the Senate guy's son.
You don't think he can carry it?
No, I don't know if he could carry
that Senate guy's son is already in Resistance, and he's a little kid in Resistance. He can't.
Oh, okay. So there's no way that he can be an adult in this show.
No, because that's the Resistance thing happened years later.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe they do that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jonathan says they could build a show around Teva. Fans like him enough. I think they like him enough, but I think it would be like the idea of that Echo show, right? Where I don't know how many people were actually tune in for Carson Teva, unless they put him and Zeb together, or they bring in some other pilot.
See, like they were going to do that. They were going to do so. Supposedly, like the show with Cara Dune was going to have some kind of group of rebels, or I guess not rebels anymore, but Alliance people who were New Republic people who were off doing missions. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so now instead, Carson Teva is going to be part of that group doing missions.
Yeah, but I think, will he be a main character, or will the person who's actually on the ground doing the secret spy stuff or whatever, and then he just flies in at the end of every episode and like blows up the target that the spy tags or whatever? You know what I mean? Like that type of a thing.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I think everybody I kind of thought over the last 2 days it's slightly different about this, but I think that I thought at the time that everybody was going to get in Ahsoka's ship and they were going to fly off the planet and they're going to stick themselves to the side of the ring. Like
that's exactly what's going to happen. But I don't think it's going to be the ring. I think it's going to be to shut Thrawn's ship.
The Star Destroyer itself.
Yeah.
It's going to be just like the Millennium Falcon did in Empire Strikes Back. And then they're going to hitch a ride back to the main galaxy with Thrawn. But now, over the last couple of days, I was like, well, wait a minute. If they do want to continue with Baylan and tie up what happened, a good reason for Ahsoka to no longer be in the Star Wars galaxy when the sequels happen is, what if Ahsoka stays behind and follows Baylan, because she doesn't want to leave Baylan alone on the planet because she doesn't know what he's up to. So if Baylan stays on the planet doing his own thing to try and get whatever secret power he's going after, Ahsoka might decide by the end of this next episode to stay, and then Hu Yang is going to take Ezra and Sabine and some of the crab people to stick to the side of the Chimera ship and fly back with Thrawn.
Okay, yeah.
And then Ahsoka's the only one left on the planet with Baylan, and she's going to have to confront Baylan and find out what he's doing there and what power he's after. You know what I mean? So if anyone stays behind, I think that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, Thrawn has to kill one of the main cast because the dude has been zero threat so far.
I don't think anyone's going to die.
I don't see Filoni getting rid of any of his characters. I agree with
Jonathan a
little bit that everybody wants to have a figure, but I don't think wanting a figure translates to carrying a show. Honestly, I think it would be fantastic for the actor personally, and I would watch it, but I just don't see how they would put it together because he hasn't really done much besides.
But if it's part of a group of characters, like I said,
group of pilots,
but
right?
I think we will see Thrawn perform a brilliant tactical thing, because I think that I think the fleet that was searching for Hera might still be hanging around that planet. So when they get back, they're going to find those 2 or 3 capital ships, and Thrawn's going to have to fight them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just think, like Jonathan, right? Like Filoni, he's too invested in them. I don't see any harm coming to any of those main cast.
Not yet.
But I do like the idea
down
that
the road.
I do like the idea that like Ahsoka gets left behind, and I think maybe even Shin stays behind. And I think that what ends up happening is maybe the two of them have to defeat Balin.
Well, see, like a lot of people were talking about Shin staying behind to fight Balin, but Shin doesn't have a chance against Balin.
No,
like, Balin
but
would
what I'm
kill
saying
her
is,
in one shot. But
Ahsoka jumps in to save her basically, and then they take out Balin, and then she realizes that Ahsoka, that everything she learned about like this Jedi, because Ahsoka's not necessarily Jedi, right? Because she never completed her training.
Yeah.
So she's kind of like Shin.
Yeah.
Trained to be something better.
But I just kind of feel like Shin's going to end up going with Thrawn, and they're going to have a big problem with their writing because they're going to be like, oh crap. Because if Shin stayed behind, and they don't resolve it in this next episode, they could just go in the future go, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to say, or we'll computer animate or do something to make Balin be there for like one episode, and he's going to go for the power, but something's going to end up destroying him, and then Shin's going to accidentally collect the power somehow, and everything we had planned for Balin, we're now going to do with Shin.
I think Jonathan's saying Shin has zero reason to fight Balin, except for the fact that he dragged her across the universe and then basically ditched her, and she's like looking at him, going, "Wait a minute, this is it? I didn't get to finish my training." The least he could have did is given her a belt buckle and sent her to the cookie factory.
Or a badge. Like, here's your badge.
You remember on the Barry Gordy's Last Dragon, he was so upset when he finished his training because he didn't have that magical glow. And then the guy says, take this. It's a belt buckle worn by Bruce Lee, and go to the fortune cookie factory, and this guy will show you the path. So he basically just did that to her without giving her the belt buckle and and the address.
But I think some people were saying that it looked like Shin went in a different direction than Balin. So that means Shin's going back to Thrawn, and I just think she's going to want to get off the planet with or without Balin. So I really do think that she's going to leave. And what's going to end up happening is we're never going to know what happened to Balin because the actor passed away. They're just going to leave it blank and never come back to it.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Everything will be revealed in the final episode, right?
Yeah.
It'll be a nice, tight conclusion to the entire story.
Yeah.
It won't be to be continued or anything like that.
It'll be 95 minutes long so that we get everything in it. Yeah.
That's the problem with this, is like we're already at the end, and there's just no way to wrap everything up.
No, there isn't. Nothing. Because that's the one thing I said. I said you're really going to end up with like 10 different cliffhangers, and nothing's going to be resolved because they planned on the story continuing. And Waze was like, no, it's all going to get resolved. It has to. You know, and I'm like, no, it won't.
Going to open a portal. They're going to walk over to the other side of the universe, and then they're going to be there ahead of them, and then this fleet's going to be there. There's going to be a huge space battle, and Thrawn's going to get destroyed immediately.
Yeah. That doesn't make any sense.
In some other book somewhere that somebody else read. I'm just giving him a hard time because he's not here to defend himself.
I know, right?
He should have charged his phone a little bit more.
He should just have a camera that's not dependent on a phone.
Well, he's got to get a computer first, John. No, but what I've been making fun of Ahsoka like this last week with making a bunch of short videos. Did you see my Thrawn one? I did.
Yeah, with audio. Yeah, Anchor. Yeah.
Well, so when you said he's going to do something great and tactical, I'm like, no, he's not.
Yeah. The thing is that like I actually like the show a lot. I think Ahsoka's been great. I like the pacing of it. I just know that we're not going to get all the ends that we want in this last episode. There's not enough time. It's going to be like a 35-minute episode. It'll be 38 minutes.
It'll be 38 minutes long with like 8 minutes of credits.
Yeah,
4 minutes of scenes, and then 18 minutes of actual story.
Yeah.
There's got to be one last epic fight scene, though.
Well, that's what I mean. I think that fleet is still around the planet. That fleet is still sitting there. So Thrawn's going to come out of hyperspace, detach from the ring, and the fleet's going to be there.
We took Hera back to her tribunal, her hearing.
No, I think the X-wings escorted her. The X-wings escorted
no.
the ghost back.
I think all those ships left.
I don't know.
They're all there, and I'm thinking like, since they showed that, we know they're not going to be around that planet, unless her conversation with Mon Mothma is like, "Oh, we need to gear up and go over there, get back there."
No,
And maybe they get there just when the fight's on or something like that, and then
I know G-Force. I agree.
5 years from now, in the Mandalorian movie,
yeah, because like the Akbar and the some of those other people, none of them were at the trial. Yeah.
Okay, so just so you know, I've been running a poll through the entire episode of the show.
Oh no.
I'm going to end it right now.
I didn't see it.
You didn't get a vote. I said, which is better, Ahsoka or Andor? Oh, and after 28
wow,
votes,
that's a tough one. I like them both pretty equally.
Ahsoka pulled ahead by 53%, but I think Andor was kind of like leading that poll, but Ahsoka pulled it out in the end. I think it's just because in every episode, I think there's been like a fight scene, and
so it's 53 to what, 47? Is that what you're saying? That's pretty darn equal in my opinion.
These guys make fun of me. I used to call Tatooine Tatooine.
Tatooine.
Or Tatooine.
Tatooine, yeah.
Oh, Rick is back. He missed his whole Left Coast Graphics pin plug.
I know. He never watches when we plug him.
I know. That's all right.
It was like a long plug too. It went on for like a half hour.
I know. I mean, we were really showing off those products. We even had all the pipeline reveals and everything.
Yeah.
He's going to pipeline reveal an R2D2 pin.
We did pipeline reveals for Left Coast Graphics, yes.
He's got the pipeline for a Darth Vader pin.
Yep. And a Mon Mothra. There's a Mon Mothra pin.
Mon Mothra.
And there's a couple, all the Senate, when she walks out, the rest of the Senate, she walks out, the rest of the Senate are all like, "Ay, Mon Mothma, Mon Mothma."
The thing about this Left Coast Graphics pin is what I don't get is it's the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. So why isn't there an R2D2 pin beaming out an image of Jedi Luke that you could get to go with that Jabba the Hutt set?
Oh, yeah.
Right? So he's standing there.
Luke could have a little bubble saying, I present to you a gift, these two droids.
These two droids, right. Or greetings, exalted one.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I think that's how people need to like talk to us from now on. When we get on the stream, everyone in the chat has to be like, "Greetings, exalted ones."
Greetings, exalted one. I am Luke Skywalker, Jedi Knight and friend of Captain Solo.
No, that you got to say like, "I am and friend of Vern at Oakhurst Studios."
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, this is good.
So I'll tell you one thing though. Like, I tend to judge a lot of shows and a lot of movies and a lot of the stuff that comes out based on like how my mother reacts to them, because she's not like, she's a fan of science fiction. She likes Star Wars and all this stuff, but she's not like a fan that follows all the stuff like we do. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
She's almost like a casual viewer. Half the time she has no idea who the characters are. Like,
and I think that's the problem, right? Like we look at it from like a we're Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
But most people watching the show are looking at it from a "are you entertaining me" perspective.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And my mother has said consistently throughout the show of Ahsoka that this looks like Star Wars. This is Star Wars. This is what
like
I remember.
She would just turn it on and recognize, oh, this is Star Wars. Not like watching one of the other shows where she's like, oh, well, what storyline is this?
She didn't get through Andor. She was like, where I love Andor. I think Andor is a great Star Wars show, and I understand its context within the greater story of Star Wars.
Fans that are getting ready to attack John for not being a Star Wars fan, he loved Andor.
But my mother was like, I don't see how this is a Star Wars show. She's like, there's no Star Wars ships in it. There's no lightsabers. There's no Star Wars droids in it. There's no aliens in it. She's like, it's just a couple people walking around and one droid here and there. You know what I mean? And she's like, I don't get she's like, there was barely any.
There was a droid in every episode of Andor. There's the little square one.
She was like, there's barely any stormtroopers in it even. She was like,
at the end, there was like stormtroopers in the entire.
She didn't make it to the end. That's what I'm saying. She only made it like 5 episodes and turned it off.
It was like there was a whole base station with like stormtroopers and Imperial like intelligence officers.
She turned it off. She couldn't watch it.
All right.
So I kind of, when I heard her talking about it, I kind of understood why some people on the internet were just like, I don't like Andor. It's the worst Star Wars one, you know? And I was like, I guess from a perspective of someone who doesn't geek out and isn't a fan of it, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Because my mom wants to see those things that make it a Star Wars show in a Star Wars movie.
Why is it that in the prison, this is a good point, the lack of aliens in Andor stood out. Why is it in that prison there were no aliens?
Yeah.
In the prison.
Yeah. There were no aliens on the beach. There were no aliens in the resorts.
Why is that? I mean, like, is it because the aliens in Star Wars aren't good at making like the connecting bolts for the Death Star? They decided they had to be built by human-like people. Maybe. So they went around to like all the human worlds and captured people.
And you would think that, like, since the Empire is so anti-alien from what we've seen in Star Wars Empire and Jedi, that they would be locking up all the aliens. you know, like that prison.
Ways of the Sith calls your mom and said, "Don't finish watching Andor."
Yeah.
So the other thing about Andor that kind of, you know, they, instead of like the prisoners, why weren't they cloning the prisoners so that they have an unlimited supply of like workers?
Yeah, good idea. Why not? Yeah. Of course, they would all be babies.
Well, once they're 5 years old, they could start with doing the wiring because their hands are really small, making the circuit boards and stuff. And as they get older, then they start doing like the machine stuff.
That just takes an awful long time before you get wire babies.
How long do you think it took to build that Death Star if those guys were making like one piece at a time?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, I think we're getting too far into the weeds here.
All right. We've gone for 2 hours. We made it to the 2-hour mark.
Yes. 2 hours and 5 minutes. There we go. Oh, 2 hours. Do you want to do your 2 hours though?
No, I'm done.
Because you were late.
No.
All right, guys. Everybody in the chat, thanks for joining us this week on the toy team. We'll change it to the toy team. We were talking about last week, right?
We were at lunch. We had a later lunch today.
Oh, that's good. Got to eat lunch. But anyways, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We really appreciate it. And thanks, John, for hanging out with me to the very end and making sure that you charged your camera up.
Actually, the good HD camera's in the other room. I ran in and got on the laptop that was in the living room and just sat down. So I don't have the good HD camera on this.
Oh, the one that got hacked?
It's in the other room. Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Oh, look, hold on. And there's Dino, and we'll see you next week on the Toy Duo.